The internet says that coconut is a superfood, but your doctor might have told you that it raises your cholesterol. In Singapore, we use coconut products in a lot of our dishes, like rendang, kaya, and a lot of kuih-kuihs. I'm Dr. Eva, a medical doctor who wants to help you take control of your health. So today we're going to talk about coconut, in particular coconut oil, and the science behind it. And it might get a bit technical, but I think it's important to understand what we eat. At the end of this video, I would like you to tell me whether it's good or bad for you. And I'll also give my opinion. So what is coconut oil made of? What is any oil made of? It's really just fats. And most of the food that we eat, which are not processed, will contain some amount of fats. So there are three main types of fats: saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and trans fats. Now we can all agree that trans fats are bad for your health. So let's just put that aside and not talk about it today. Unsaturated fats are typically said to be the healthier fats. But again, that's a whole other topic with its own controversies, and I will not touch on that today. So today we'll talk about saturated fats because that's the type of fats that is most predominant in coconut oil. And it's usually said to be the unhealthy fats, but it's really not as easy as that. Now within saturated fats, there are three further categories: short chains, medium chains, and long chains. Now what are all these chains? So if you look at the molecular structure of fats, it contains fatty acids, and these fatty acids has chains of carbon atoms. Now short chains have less than 6 carbon atoms. For medium chains, they have about 6 to 12 carbon atoms, and for long chain fatty acids, they have more than 12 carbon atoms. So why is it important to know all these different lengths of chains? Because it behaves differently when we digest it. The short and the medium chains tend to get absorbed very easily by the intestines and gets converted into energy fast. But the long chains go through a more complicated process and in the end can end up increasing the bad LDL cholesterol or get stored as fats. So with that in mind, let's look at what the coconut oil is composed of. So these are the top 5 saturated fats that are present in coconut oil. As you can see, the highest, 50% of it, is made of lauric acid. Let's not call them all these names. Let's call them C12 or C14 based on the number of carbon atoms they have. So C12 is on the upper end of a medium chain fatty acid. So even though it's categorized under medium chain, our body is not black and white. Actually, it's more of like a spectrum on how it gets digested from short chain to long chain. So being very close to a long chain, some of C12 can actually behave like a long chain fatty acid. In fact, in animal studies, about 30% of C12 gets digested as a long chain and can potentially increase your LDL cholesterol. And then there's also C14 and C16, which are true long chain fatty acids that can increase your bad LDL cholesterol. And I think that is a significant amount that we cannot ignore. And then also we have the C8 and C10s, which are the good medium chain fatty acids. And that makes up only about 15%. So if you kind of recategorize this into medium chain behaving and long chain behaving, it's really a 50-50 thing. So what does this mean for your cholesterol? Well, there are studies of varying results, but most of them do agree that it can raise your LDL cholesterol, the bad one, as well as your good HDL cholesterol. More importantly, what does this mean for your heart health? Now, the truth is, we really don't know. There's just not enough studies to tell us or to link coconut oil directly to heart disease. So we do not know whether it increases the risk, lowers the risk, or just heart neutral. Everything is based on what coconut oil does to your cholesterol levels. I don't doubt the benefits of coconut oil. There are numerous, and you can just search it up on the internet. Everyone is talking about it. Just keep in mind that a lot of these claims are based on studies that use purely medium chain fatty acids like C8 and C10. So they are not exactly the same as coconut oil because coconut oil also contains other types of fatty acids, including long chains. And as for weight loss and antiseptic benefits, yes, there are some benefits, but still more studies need to be done to be more conclusive. So how should this knowledge affect our consumption of coconut oil or other coconut products? If you are a vegan or someone who eats predominantly plant-based or plant-predominant foods, then probably it's alright for you to take coconut, because it's probably your only, if not your main source of saturated fats. And if you are well, healthy, you're free of metabolic chronic diseases, you might want to take it in moderation, just in case you are sensitive to your LDL being increased. So yes, you can eat it in dishes, but probably don't eat it all the time. If you are at high risk, however, meaning you probably have a metabolic condition like diabetes, or you've had a heart attack or diagnosed with stroke before, then I would suggest you probably should minimize taking too much coconut products. But in any case, you should check with your doctor first. Now, if you are a staunch believer on the benefits of coconut and you want to eat it on a regular basis and put coconut oil in your coffee every day, well, honestly, no one can stop you. But I would suggest that you actually inform your doctor about this and get your cholesterol checked regularly, just in case you happen to be someone who is prone to having their bad cholesterol increase. So after all the information, let me know in the comments what you think about coconut and its products. Please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. I'm Dr. Eva, asking you to take control of your health. See you in the next video.